Yeah, hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're doing alright. So we have the Mac just in front of us, and we're going to take a look at some of the rumours that can run today, a little bit of news towards the end, of course, as well. So the first one I want to begin with is, it's time to go. Oh, here we go. What did you say, Romano? I've just butchered that, haven't I? I've just literally butchered that. He has tweeted out, and I'm going to quote him, and it says, negotiations between Newcastle and Burnley for James Trafford are underway. Club-to-club talks continue as the deal can happen from July, so expect it to accelerate from next week. So that's what Romano has tweeted out. Now, obviously, James Trafford has been linked. I mean, it's like a broken record at the minute. It's continuously. Interestingly, he did say July, which I do want to come back to towards the end of this video. Look, I think it's no secret, because he's not the only one. There's several journalists that Newcastle are keen on him. Whether he'll be the long-term replacement for Nick Pope, probably. If he was to come in over the summer, would he go in as first choice? Probably not, I don't think. I think Pope probably just edges it. Yes, he had a fantastic last season in the Championship where he kept 29 clean sheets in 45 games, which is quite incredible. But we also know that in the Premier League, he was replaced by Muric in goal, who isn't very a good goalkeeper when Burnley went down. The fee is believed to be around 30 to 40 million for Trafford, which is a lot of money. You're buying for probably the future, I would say. I don't think he's ready-made as of yet right now. Is he better than Nick Pope? I don't feel that he is. Some of you might disagree on that. I think Pope is better than him at this stage, but if he comes in, I expect him to take over Nick Pope, and you're probably looking at, 12 months maybe, another year's time. And then you've got a ready-made replacement. But Newcastle are obviously love the goalkeepers. Always seems to be linked to them all the time, doesn't it? But will it happen this summer? I could see it potentially happening. But as I say, we'll come back to the July thing in a moment. We've got a lot more speculation to run through in a moment. But also NordVPN are sponsoring this video, at which you can see the link for that, which is nordvpn.com/Newcastle fans. We're delighted to have them on board. Now, NordVPN will give you access to the very best VPN that's out there at just £2.13. Nice. And you get an extra 4 months on top of that as well. I love it. I use VPNs because I'm up and down the motorway a lot of the time. Sometimes I'll jump onto public Wi-Fi. Sometimes I'm staying over hotels. Now that Newcastle are back in the Champions League and the tour of Asia, I want to be protected. I don't want me social media getting hacked. I don't want me bank details getting hacked. So it's a dangerous world out there. Get yourself protected. It's an absolute bargain. My favourite feature with VPNs is just changing the location. I love that. So if I'm going to be in Singapore, which I am in a few weeks' time, I can trick my location back into UK, which is brilliant. I love that. So NordVPN, grab a bargain, just £2.13. Absolute bargain. More of that is in the description, and it's also linked and pinned at the top of our comment section. But let's get back to the video then. So the next one, anybody who plays Football Manager will be very, very excited about this kid, because Giorgi Scalvini, now talented, very talented, had an injury-ravaged season at Atalanta, but that doesn't stop you from thinking what a talent he is. He's done his cruciate. He's also had a long-term shoulder injury as well, so he didn't feature too much, but he is an Italian international with 8 caps, still only 21. It fits the right profile for Newcastle because they want to go after a young defender. Obviously, if you look at our defence, you look at Dan Burn, you look at Fabian Schär, Kieran Trippier. It's not getting any younger. Jamal Lascelles in his 30s. Krath is about to hit 30, or he might be 30 by now. So it's an aging defence, and we need someone who comes in and replaces Fabian Schär, or knocks Fabian Schär at the bench. And anybody who watches this kid, yes, this last season just gone. Yes, he's had his injuries, but he is talented. He is a proper Italian old school defender of art, as I'm going to call it. But two not considering the bid, and this is coming from Italian journalist Matteo Moratti. Considering the bid, we'll have to wait and see. It remains to be seen, obviously, with the marquee, which will come out in just a second, because that leads me nicely onto Gehi in a minute. But Scalvini, how much? The talk is 40 million for him. I think that'll probably be a lot more if he wasn't injured as much, but that's my only slight worry about him is his injuries. And then this morning I was in the car doing some errands and that, and I had Talk Sport on, and Jim White and Simon Jordan were talking about Marquee. Only got 1 year left on his deal. Palace should have cashed in on them last season. That might come back and bite them in the arse, but then they might turn around and say, well, wait a minute, we'll win a trophy, we'll win Europe. It was right to keep him. They might look at that. But 50 million for Guehi now, that's something I would say, do you know what? Go and do it. I wouldn't last season when it was nearly 70 million, whatever it was. But he's got no intention of signing a contract extension. That's what Simon Jordan and Jim White were talking about this morning. If that is the case, Palace are going to lose out a lot of money if they don't sell him this summer. 50 million doing the draining if they didn't sell him. So I could see that move happening. Liverpool are heavily linked. They're the most recent club. Will Newcastle come back in for him? I would probably like to see that happening now with just 12 months left on his deal. And I know some of you might say I wouldn't get in from him because, you know, with the way Palace dealt with that's the club, not the player. So for that, I would, personally. You know, I would just talk about Scalvini. But I think Marquee is probably the more realistic one, to be honest. But, yeah. And thankfully it's gone quiet on Isaac and Liverpool because that was doing me head in last week. And loads of Liverpool fans jumping on it. But also, I want to bring on a couple of mad rumours. Absolute bonkers, bullshit rumours, to be honest with you. Now, this is according to Real Madrid Confidential, if I've said that right. They claim Arda Güler is wanted by Newcastle, Juventus and Bayer Leverkusen, and they've all put loan bids in for the Turkish star. Now, granted, under Ancelotti last season, he didn't hit the world a light, did he? But in the World Club Cup, I watched Real Madrid's game against Pachuca the other day, if I said that right, the Mexican side, with Solomon Rondon playing, where they were 10 men and they won 3-1. He played in centre midfield. I think Alonso wants to have a good look at him. I can't say that happening. I can't see that happening. I just can't see it. I just can't see a signing a Real Madrid player at this stage, and someone who wants to make a name themselves and only be in there 12 months because if he leaves Real, you'd be seen as disappointing. So for Guler, yes, brilliant, talented, but not at this stage. But also, another mad one that came out as well, I don't know if you've seen this over the weekend, that Tutte Juve, again, I'm questioning some of these media outlets, in quote. Newcastle and Man United have asked about Kolo Muani, who's still only 26, remember, who was out on loan at Juventus last season, scored 8 goals in Serie A in 16 appearances, 1 and 2 is decent. Obviously, we all know that PSG have got talent all over the place. They've just won the Champions League. They could go on, potentially win the Club World Cup. But he has scored a couple already for Juventus in the Club World Cup because he still is on loan for them. Now, he fits the profile for someone who can play out wide and play through the middle as well. I think Howe would love someone like that, like a Mouani. And as I touched upon over the weekend, someone like a Semenyo or someone like a Mbeumo who can fill in a couple of positions in the front line rather than just the one position. Mouani, is he going to get in that PSG side? I can't say that now, even if he comes back to the club for obviously after on loan at Juve. I can't say it. I can't see him being a regular at PSG, so you might get a move away. French international, and it's hard to get at that France side. Scored an important goal, did he, for France in the tournament not so long ago? As that team is just sensational. It's so talented, France. But Mouani, am against it? Hell not. Would I take it? Yes. How much? 40, 50 million? I wouldn't pay any more than that. However, I just can't see them two with Real Madrid and PSG, those two rumours. I just can't see it. I think it's a load of bullshit. But also I want to touch back right at the touch of the video where we talked about Romano's tweet saying July. Why is it important for July? A lot of people have asked us, people who know how I do YouTube, people at work, all that sort of stuff, why have we not signed anybody yet? Well, the simple matter is PSR, because the new year kicks in on July 1st. We have 70-odd million dropping off from 3 years ago, leaving us with a clean slate to spend that extra money, as well as now that the club are in the Champions League and so on. You'll see a lot happening. Don't lose the faith. We will sign players in July. It's just because of that PSR. We will sign it. Eddie Howe will want to go away to Asia with at least one new signing. The board have got to back him. Yes, there is some changes with the board, but now that there is some going to be happening in the future with Darren Neal stepping away, etc. Paul Mitchell carry on. We know that. But Eddie Howe needs a signing in, I think, for pre-season, going away to Asia so he can work for them and get a couple of more in through the door. But don't worry just yet, just because we haven't yet. It's just that daft PSR. Remember last year? We had to sell Minter. We had to sell Anderson because we couldn't hit the criteria. Could have been a risk of losing points in the Premier League. Same again, but this time we need, not the points, don't need to sell, but it's just because we've got the third year dropping off. So lads are back in training in just 2 weeks' time. So you'll start to see War Serena, taking photos of other lads returning back from club duty, international duty. I think the international lads will probably get another week or two off, to be honest with you. But looking forward to that, because as we're getting nearer and nearer to the Celtic game, which is on July 19 it is, on the Saturday. We'll all be going up to Glasgow again. We've done that a couple of years ago with Rangers. So very much looking forward to seeing the lads back in pre-season. And of course, if you are a follower of Newcastle United women, season tickets are available now for the lasses. Get supporting them. There are going to be a lot of new signings happening with the lasses, a lot more quality players coming in. So if you want to get yourself a season ticket, they are literally very, very cheap. I think you can get a season ticket off the top of my head, 80 something or £80 or something, £85 maximum. It's pretty good for an adult. But there you go. That is a wrap up of what's been happening in the last 24 hours. Some mad rumours. A couple of ones in there from Romano, and I do like the Scalvini link, but I just can't really. Can I really say Scalvini leaving? Yes and no, I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest with you. But that's the one probably excites me the most. But a realistic one is probably marquee out of all them. But love yous and leave yous. Drop us a massive like on this video. And thanks to our sponsor, NordVPN. Go and get your VPN sorted. nordvpn.com/Newcastle fans. But we shall love you and leave yous. Have a good evening, everyone. Ta-da. Bye-bye.